Hi there, yearbook staff. Today we'll be teaching you how to take photos for the yearbook. Okay. Boy Khan here. I'm going to teach you how to graduate from selfies.
I'm Ben, and I'm here to school you in photography.
Yeah, hello, this is James, and I am your ABG model.
Are you tired of taking basic photos with your iPhone? Still shooting an auto with your lens cap on?
We're here to teach you how to do real photography.
So what is photography? Photography is one of the many positions in your book, like designing and journalism, where in this case you're just taking pictures and like you're trying to capture the moment of what's happening around campus, around the year, and like just trying to take that and put it into a book so everyone else can see and look at.
Magnesium alloy body, f1.8. Basically, the camera system consists of a camera body and a camera lens. The camera body has a sensor that captures the picture in front of you, and the lens focuses the light onto that sensor.
So here in Yearbook, our camera body inventory consists of the Nikon D3200, the Nikon D5100, and the Nikon D7100. Along with that, we also have bodies like the Canon T3i and older XSIs.
So next up, we're going to review the type of lenses we have. In Yearbook, we have a vast majority of lenses from shooting portraits, sports, or shooting indoors. First off, we're going to be looking at the 18 to 55mm lens. This 18 to 55mm lens has an aperture of 3.5 to 5.6. So basically, everything's going to be in focus. But then the problem is that it's just going to be a very short zoom lens. When you shoot this lens, it's just going to be something close by, like people's faces or something short by. When you want to shoot sports, however, you might need something with a longer zoom lens. For example, we have a 55 to 200 zoom lens. This is one of our best sports shooting lens, as it can zoom from pretty far away and can get great focus. With a lowest aperture of 4.0, we can expect really high lighting and good contrast. Our older type of model is the 50 to 300mm lens, and this lens can actually zoom farther than the lens we just showed you before, but then the problem is that the aperture is 4.5 to 5.6, so in a sense it can only get less light, but still it can zoom pretty far. Now our most recent lens we got were the 50mm lens. This lens is excellent for short range shooting. If you want to get good portraits of just single people, or if you want to shoot indoors, it is a fixed lens, so it is called a prime lens, but it does get great shots as the aperture can go as low as 1.4, the lowest f-stop we ever have, but it's great. We also do have a 35mm lens, which is currently used to film this video, but it's similar to the ones you just saw 50mm, but because this is 35, it can zoom less, and it still shoots great. Our final one is our big baby 55mm lens, 85mm lens, and this lens is great for shooting indoors like basketball or fantastic because it has a great mid-level zoom, and it's also good for shooting indoors like in the Rainer Hall when we're having musicals or concerts because it's dark, and because this lens can go as low as 1.8, it can get in great light and also have a pretty good color of people.
So in this case, we're looking at a 5100 body because there are more basic functions on it. On the modal of a body, there are aperture, manual, auto, sports, landscape, portraits. But in this case, whenever we shoot on a more general camera, we want to shoot in a sports mode. Where is it? It's right here with the Running Man.
Challenge.
I've been watching you.
And here we have a demonstration of how aperture affects your depth of field or the blur in the background. Right now we're at f1.4, which is a really wide aperture. It lets in the most light and blurs the background the most. As you can see, Ben is completely out of focus, but Alex is clearly in focus. And here we've changed our aperture yet again down to f2.8, which is a smaller opening. It lets in less light and the background is more in focus now. As you can see, Ben's slightly less blurry. And here we are at f8. As you can see, Ben is much more in focus now, and the background is much less blurred because we have a smaller opening with the lens now.
Hello there. So shutter speed is another pillar to the 3 pillars of manual photography. Shutter speed is how long your sensor is exposed to light, and it also affects motion blur, allowing you to capture motion or the opposite, motion blur, which is the blur associated with a fast-moving subject.
So another pillar of photography is ISO. ISO is the measure of how sensitive your sensor is to light. Here we're at 100 ISO, which is the least sensitive, but also the most clean of all ISOs. Okay, here we've bumped ourselves up to 800 ISO. As you may or may not be able to tell, it is a bit less clean, but it does allow us to get more shots in darker light. And here we're at 1600 ISO. Normally this is as far as we should be willing to go. And here we are at the extreme end, at high 2. You really never want to go to this point, but this
Anyways, so that concludes our how to photography video. There are many things that we did cover and did not cover, but like essentially when it comes to photography, it is all about experience. So if you have any questions or want some more tips, always find a photographer who knows his things, because that's where you can learn most from. Anything else to add, Ben?
Thanks for watching.